My first day doing DoorDash deliveries, I probably did not time it very well. So my background check and approval and everything went through on a Wednesday evening. I work a regular 40-hour-a-week job, and I work overnight. And so I decided that when I took my break, I usually break between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. I get an hour break. I decided I'm going to go ahead and do my first DoorDash on my break. Anybody who's done DoorDash or Uber Eats or anything like that knows that's probably not a good idea to just dash for an hour, because dashing can kind of take you away from a central location. Like the first thing you do is you go to a hot spot that is busy, where a lot of orders are coming in for restaurants around that hot spot, which could be like a 7-Eleven or a Starbucks or McDonald's or something like that. So they'll tell you to proceed to a hot spot once you start dashing. But then you take orders, and those might be, 4 miles, 5 miles, 9 miles away. So that can take you far away from somewhere you need to go. So it's generally a good idea to dash when you don't have a place to be afterwards, or you don't have a hard deadline to get back, because it might take you a while to get back to where you started. So leaving my place of business on break and planning to be back there in an hour after dashing is probably not a great idea. But what was kind of cool is, the first order I got was for Whataburger. I think it was like $8.25, and I took that and delivered it, and I did all of that in like 25 minutes or something like that. It was really quick. So I earned, $8.25 in 25 minutes. And then I went back to the hot spot, which was Whataburger itself, and I instantly got an $11 offer, which would have taken me longer than I had on my break. And so I had to decline it. And then I got another $11 offer, had to decline that. And then I got another $10 offer and had to decline that, all within the course of 20 minutes or so. And so my first day door dashing, my acceptance rating went, down the drain instantly. It was like 25% when I was done, because I only accepted 1 out of 4 orders. So I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. But nonetheless, I worked for 20-25 minutes, and I made $8.25, and I just did 1 order. And so all in all, it went well. But the scary part was that while I was making that delivery, my car gave me a warning that said brake fluid low. I was pretty sure I knew what the issue was. I had just done some work on my rear drum brake, and the cylinder was leaking back there because the shoes had worn awkwardly. One of the pins had come out of the brake shoe and kind of catty-cornered it like that, so it was rubbing against the drum. And so I think it slipped out of the cylinder, and that cylinder then came apart, and it was leaking inside the drum. So I knew that was the issue, and it's the rear drum brake, and so it wasn't going to completely bleed out all my brake fluid. There would still be some serving my front brakes, and that they would provide braking power. It's still able to brake, even though the back brake fluid is drained. But I knew that I had to get this delivery done. I didn't really have an option. I finished the delivery and then carefully proceeded back to work, very slowly with my flashers on. And all in all, it was okay, just that little scare. And I got my drum brakes fixed and, did that whole process. So we made it alive through our first DoorDash shift. Not too bad. Looking forward to doing more.